later. Okay. So meron ba? Any questions you have in mind? Any concerns you wanna sort out? Anything na you want to improve in life right now and pwede nating pag-usapan? Okay. Really great question here. How do you repair as a broken safe space? Um, let's talk about repair. There are two types, okay, or two types of repair mode that we can go to. With anything though, actually, it applies to anything. First is to trace back. Okay? Trace back meaning kung saan nagkaroon ng break or kung saan nag-break yung mismong bagay, binabalikan natin yung thing na yun. Tapos nire-retrace natin yung steps natin and then we'll try to fix whatever it is along the way. Okay? The other the other type naman of repair is to create a newer version or a different version that would replace. Okay, in a sense. So basically it's retrace or replace. But eventually, ang goal kasi ng something that's broken or you want to repair is function. Right? So you want to restore yung function ng bagay na yun. Okay? So ano yung isang example ng retrace? Example, nabasag yung pinggan. Okay? Basta hindi siya yung tipong pinong-pinong pagkabasag. Okay? Kasi pag gano'n, sobrang hirap nila, di ba? Pero yung tipong kanya bumagsak, tapos nahati sa dalawa yung pinggan. Okay? Retrace is basically, you put it back together, and then you'd probably glue it in between, depende dun sa pagkakabasag niya. Okay? And then yung isa naman is you could just buy another plate. Either way, ang function ng plato is meron kang paglalagay ng pagkain tapos makakain ka. Okay? So, whenever we're trying to repair something, yung purpose is sobrang halaga. Example, the question here, how do you repair a broken safe space? Ano yung purpose ng safe space na yun para sa'yo? What does it mean to you? Ano yung naging function nun para sa'yo in the past? What has it contributed to your life? Because you're either retracing or you're replacing. Okay? If it's just about the safe space and the function. Okay? Bakit ganito yung dynamic? Minsan kasi, or madalas, kapag retracing, we're using the same tools, the same elements, the same environment, previous experiences, tapos nire-rearrange natin siya, tapos finifix natin siya. Lahat is coming from the past. Okay? Wala ka munang idadagdag, aayusin mo lang kung ano yung meron na. You're working with the stuff that's already there. Okay? Yung replace naman is basically may kailangan ka. Okay? Now, ano yung mga cases na hindi pwede hindi naman sa hindi pwede pero like masaklap yung replace. Example, if it's a broken space with your wife or your husband, hindi mo naman pwedeng palitan yung asawa. Or at least ako, believe ko yun. Kayo, bahala kayo sa buhay niyo kung gusto niyo palitan yung asawa niyo. Okay? Hindi, andiyan kasi yung asawa ko narinig ako, kaya kailangan ko sabihin yan. But anyway, so, if it's with certain people, hindi pwede yung replace, di ba? Iisa lang nanay natin, iisa lang tatay natin, iisa lang whoever. Okay? So, yung retrace is mas worthwhile talaga siya, lalo na sa mga irreplaceable na mga tao. Okay? But does this make sense as an answer? How do you repair a broken safe space? So, you either choose if it's retracing or replacing eh. Pero ang mahalagang ma-determine is ano ba yung purpose ng safe space na yun para sa'yo? Ano yung function niya? What is the type of function that you want to get back into your life by attempting the repair? Um, yeah, that's one. That's like the answer for this. Ayan. It's my first time attending something like this, and I'm new to your community. But I do want to ask, what's the number one life advice you would give someone in terms of career/success? I so appreciate this question, Isis, and your presence for being here. Okay, so show up tayo, show up tayo. Okay. Number one advice for career or success. That's actually a tough one because at least right now it's all meshed together. But if it's just one thing, okay, if it's just one thing, wala nang iba, okay, I would go for this. What you sow is what you reap. Okay? Bakit yun yung number one thing? Just think about that. Na kung ano yung tinanim mo, yun yung aanihin mo. Okay? Um, a lot of a lot of our circles right now when it comes to career development, hindi nakapareho katulad ng mga panahon ko. Like, so I'm a millennial. Basically, I was raised in an educational system na hindi mo papangarapin maging influencer, maging YouTuber, maging business owner. Hindi yun kasama sa dynamics ng papangarapin mo when I was being raised through the educational system that I was in. Right now, if I ask my 5-year-old niece, anong pangarap mo paglaki mo? Okay? Sasabihin niya, vlogger. Okay? Nung panahon ko, when I was 5 years old and I was being asked, anong gusto mo paglaki mo? Ang answer ko is, I want to be a shoulder. Pero ang ibig ko talagang sabihin is soldier, hindi ko lang ma-pronounce. Okay? So, magkaiba yung mundo na ginagalawan noon at ngayon, no? So, with career or success, ang main advice ko talaga is what you sow is what you reap. Okay? Because there's so many opportunities right now, iba't ibang paths to take. Minsan nga, it's hard for us to decide kasi ang dami ng options. But you will be you will always be thankful for what you have put in because ma-realize mo along the way, it goes back to you. Any value that you give goes back to you, just not always in the shape or form that you always expect. Right? Madalas pag tinignan natin yung career or success, we look at it from the perspective of having more money or having wealth na more than what we need. Hindi lang basta for survival, but for freedom, diba? Luxury, like the stuff that we want to experience in life, and usually it requires money. Okay. Um, However, kanina I was in a workshop. It's called Selling for Introverts. Okay? Full day workshop siya, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay? So, bumiyahe lang ako ng mabilisan para makapag Q&A tonight. Um, it was basically marketing related workshop, pero at the end of the workshop, lahat kami umiiyak. It's weird, right? Na parang, bakit marketing pinag-usapan nyo pero afterwards lahat kayo umiiyak? Kasi nung nag-share na ng takeaways, there's this one realization even for me. The social capital or yung social network or social wealth, my social wealth is so rich. Na tipong even if mawalan ako ng lahat ng pera na meron ako ngayon, I would still be so satisfied with the people and the circles that I am in. May lalim, like they get me, I feel seen and heard, I have a space to be me. And sobrang thankful namin lahat na ganun yung collective na hindi kami magkakilala pero it felt like, hala, pwede pala to na introvert tayong lahat pero may ganito tayong space that we shared and it seems so special parang ang tatagal na nating magkakilala and nakita natin yung depths of soul ng bawat isa. It's a super nice experience. I'm so thankful I went there. Um, so yeah, if we look at it just from a wealth perspective, ano siya, madalas bitin pa rin yun. Yung tipong what you sow is what you reap. Ang mangyayari doon is you would ask yourself, nagbibigay naman ako, ginagawa ko naman lahat, ginagawa ko invest ko, nagbibigay ako ng value, pero ba't parang hindi pa rin nagka-translate to into money? Okay? That's a usual dilemma. Pero when we say career or success, it's not just about money. So if we count lahat ng nuances and resources and wealth mismo when you're giving, nakaka-gain ka pero not always monetarily. Okay? Pero there's gain. Okay? So, pag mas marami kang tinanim, mas marami kang ano. The thing is, it will not always be in the form of money. So, ang goal lang is, mas magtanim ka palalo. Okay? So, example would be, let's say merong 5 klase ng resources. Okay? Let's say, pero ito talaga yung framework ko. So, there's time, energy, attention, money, tapos social network. Okay? Teams. TEAMS. Time, energy, attention, money, and social network. So, let's say, 5 beses ka nagtanim, 5 beses ka rin naani. Pero dun sa 5 beses na yon, tag-iisa yung aanihin mo. Okay? So, kung gusto mo na mas maraming money, then probably, magtanim, instead na 5 beses ka lang magtatanim, pag nagtanim ka ng 10 times, then you basically have 2 chances to earn money. Okay? If it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay? So, kung 4 times ka nagtanim, edi 4 times yung money. Okay? Yung pag-ani to, hindi yung actual amount. So, if you sow more, you'll reap more. Okay? But if you sow less, then you'll probably reap less. Kumbaga, kunyari, 3 beses ka na nagtanim. Yung isa doon, money yung na-reap mo. Pero yung iba hindi monetary. Then baka yung money na yun, bitin pa for you. Okay? Now, time or age is an advantage. Kasi nasa early 20s ako, nagtatanim naman ako, pero bakit parang bitin pa rin yung bumabalik sa akin? Kasi it takes time to sow. Gano'ng karami pa lang ba yung kilala kong mga tao nun? Gano'ng karami pa lang nakakausap ko? Gano'ng karami pa lang yung knowledge ko, yung skills na nabibuild ko, saan ko nilalagay yung oras ko, yung energy ko, yung attention ko, workshops na attendan ko, like mga, kung ano pa man. But with age, di ba? Ngayon, 30 ko, marami-rami na akong mas natanim. And nagugulat ako na pati yung mga tinanim ko dati, nagbubunga na ngayon. How much more if we're older? Okay, so it comes better with age. Pero syempre may mga tamad moments pa ako nun. May mga times na nag-isolate ako, ayoko muna sa tao, all of those seasons. So medyo nabawasan din yung tanim ko in those seasons. What if mas maaga natin 'tong nalaman and mas maaga tayong nag-decide, okay, magtatanim ako in any way possible as I'm aging. You'll find yourself with more opportunities related to growth ng career and success over time. So basically just a whole lot of concepts of sowing and reaping. Yeah, that's my number one advice. So parang don't be afraid to sow more value or like mag-invest ka ng oras mo, ng energy mo, ng attention, ng money, ng social network, whatever it is, na resources mo. Kasi lahat yun babalik sa'yo. Ang pinaka masaklap is if you hold on to it too much, hindi mo siya i-let go, itatanim or whatsoever, um, magugulat ka at one point na mas bitin yung bumabalik sa'yo. Eh, so, masayang yung opportunities kapag nag-sink in yung realization na yun na parang, hala, I could have given more so that sana umaani na ako ngayon. Ay, sana nagtanim ako ng mas maaga. Okay? Kasi hindi lahat ng itatanim natin bigla na lang tutubo at one point. It does take time. Yeah. So, any follow-up questions from the group or any other questions? And yeah, please show up on video, like if you're here, para nakita natin yung isa't isa. Yeah. Meron ba kayo any other questions? Could you give more practical examples, specifically siguro in terms of time, energy, and attention? Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's look at this. Yung time, energy, at attention kasi, basically they're one unit. Okay? Kung nasan yung attention natin, yung focus natin, basically doon napupunta yung energy natin, yung capacity natin to do things. Okay? At kung saan napupunta yung energy natin, yun yung nagko-consume ng time natin. Okay? So yung time naman natin is the specific flow of 24 hours a day, diba? So, let's treat that as one unit. So basically there's T, time, energy, attention, money, and then social network. Okay? Lahat ng ginagawa natin will consume time, energy, and attention. Even now, you're here in this Q&A session. So, etong oras na to, hindi ko na mababalik sa'yo. Energy you're being spent here, hindi ko na mababalik sa'yo. Yung attention that you're giving in this specific session, hindi ko na mababalik sa'yo in any way, shape, or form. Kumbaga, na-spend na siya at this point. Right? So, kung saan natin ini-spend yung time, energy, attention natin, that would either get us more time, energy, or attention, right? More money, o kaya more social capital or social network. Okay? Merong mga pagkakataon na money can be used, right? We can spend on things so that we could get back our time, energy, and attention. Okay? Practical example would be, imbes na ako yung maglalaban ng damit ko, okay? Pwede ako magpa-laundry. So, gagastos ako ng pera, tapos susunduin ng person, i-pick up, okay? I-pick up ng person yung laundry from the house, dadalhin niya dun sa space kung saan lalabahan niya, itutupi, ibabalik sa akin dito, tapos na yung labahan. I only needed to spend money on that, okay? Tapos na-save na yung time, energy, and attention, as opposed to kung ako yung maglaba. Okay? Tsaka pinili ko pag ako yung naglaba, either masisira yung damit o hindi siya kasing bango. Okay? So there's the quality too. Okay? That's one practical example to this. But there are tons of other ways na pwede nating, in a sense, ipasa yung bagay na kumakain ng time, energy, attention natin using money or social network. Okay? But does this make sense as an example? Yeah. So marami tayong mga bagay na gusto nating gawin. Marami tayong mga goals, marami tayong stuff, dreams that we want to reach. Mga vision natin, calling, di ba? These things na futuristic, right? But all of those will require resources. Sometimes yung resources natin is sapat for the dream. Sometimes naman yung resources natin hindi sapat for our dreams. So instead of just figuring out ano yung dreams natin, we need to figure out ano yung version of that dream na pwede na nating gawin ngayon kasi yun yung meron tayong sapat na resources for. Okay? I guess it's a good time to, I'll share. Pwede mag-share, magdodrawing tayo. Okay. Let's see. Tingnan natin kung gagana siya. Mukhang, okay. 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 So, we're looking at this. Okay. So, let's say ito ka. Okay. Yan. So, masaya ka naman ngayon, di ba? Pero meron ka pang state kung saan mas masaya ka. Yan, 'di ba? So, mas malaki yung ngiti mo. Maayos ba yung drawing ko? Nakita niyo ba 'to ng maayos? Let's just yan, ta's may ngipin. Yan, so mas masaya ka na state, okay? So this is point A, this is point B. Okay. Now, in between this, okay, minsan yung pinapangarap natin o yung dream natin, parang ang laki kasi ng agwat eh, ang laki ng gap, di ba? Kunyari, sasabihin sa'yo, mangarap ka ng mataas, mangarap ka ng malalim, mangarap ka ng bongga, di ba? Kasi syempre kung maliit lang yung pangarap mo, minsan di naman nakaka-motivate, eh, di ba? So, gusto natin lakihan, gusto natin like ayusin, like yung bongga. Pero, syempre, dahil malaki yung pangarap, mararamdaman mo yung agwat, di ba? Mas mararamdaman mo yung pagitan ng kung nasan ka ngayon, tas kung saan yung pinapangarap mo. And sometimes, iba yung epekto nun. Imbes na ma-motivate ka, lalo na if you're faced with challenges, ang pwede pang maging reason kung bakit napapasuko tayo is parang, hala, ginagawa ko naman lahat, pero ba't parang parang hindi lumiliit yung agwat between nasan ako, tsaka saan yung gusto kong maging, di ba? So it can sometimes be discouraging. However, you can look at it this way, na with our dreams, ito yung pinaka-ideal state natin, di ba? Pero, in between, meron pa rin micro steps. Okay? So, dahil malaki yung agwat, ibig sabihin, yung resources natin, okay, itong resources natin, dalawa lang yung state niya. Okay? So, kapag malaki yung kailangan mong i-bridge na gap, minsan, yung resources mo can be kulang. Okay? Okay? Madalas, yun yung nangyayari, no? Pero, if titingnan mo yung journey na, ito lang dalawa. From here to here. Okay? So, yung resources mo, magmumukha siyang sapat. Baka nga more than enough pa. Kasi yung steps that you will take from the point A, okay, from point A, okay, point A to point B, malaking resources na kailangan. Pero let's say ito, A1, tas A2. Okay? Mas maliit yung resources na kailangan mo from here to here. Okay? Is this making sense as a concept? Well, nawala pala yung chat break. Ayusin ko lang real quick. Nag-make sense ba to? Right now? Yeah. So, kapag pinilit natin just the big dreams pero hindi siya na-breakdown ng maayos, we would feel na hindi tayo enough. Okay, ulitin ko yun. Karamihan sa atin, we're feeding the feeling of hindi tayo enough, not because hindi natin kaya, pero dahil pinipilit natin yung bigger step instead of the step na mas pasok lang sa resources na meron tayo ngayon. So, kung hindi talaga kaya ng resources mo, kung feel mo yung tension, kung feel mo na hindi sapat, may feel mo na kahit best mo na, parang walang nangyayari. Okay? Is it possible na when you focus on your self-growth, everything will follow? Like, totoo ba yun? It is an overrated thing. Ito yung masaya. Okay? Ito yung masaya na part. Depende kasi kung kanino ka nakikinig. Siyempre, kung nakikinig ka sa isang coach, tapos self-development yung binibenta niya, sasabihin niya, self-growth yung pinakamahalaga. Bakit? Kasi yun yung susuporta sa binibenta niya eh. Alam nga naman sabihin niya na, di ba, ang pinakamahalaga ay yung self-growth, pabayaan niyo na yan, huwag na kayo dyan. Di ba? Siyempre, sabihin nila, invest in yourself. Tapos ang version nila ng invest in yourself is basically related sa something that he says. Now, mas believable yung mga tao na yung advice na ibibigay nila is hindi related sa binebenta nila. Mas believe ako sa mga tao yun. Okay? Kasi basically, walang upside sa kanila eh. Walang direktang benefit sa kanila to give that kind of advice. They're just there to help. Okay? So, kanino nang gagaling yung information? Isang mahalagang bagay yun. If nanggagaling yun sa someone, tapos yung someone na yun, yung information na yun is nakakatulong sa kanya na bumenta ng something, you can't fully trust that information lang. Okay? Hindi ibig sabihin hindi maganda yung binibenta niya. Hindi ibig sabihin na hindi yun makakatulong sa'yo. Pero pwede naman tayong mag-doubt. And actually, ang mas encourage ko nga na feeling ko the world needs smarter consumers. Okay? And yung isang way para mangyari yun is question everything. Maging skeptics tayo. Kahit itong mga sinasabi ko sa inyo ngayon, kontra nyo. I-prove natin wrong. Kasi kung mali ito, at least lahat tayo natuto. Pero kung sakaling this is something that works, edi okay, at least if you apply it, you're gonna be in good hands. Pero yeah, I mean, we need people who would question stuff. We need people who would say, parang mali yan, sige nga, explain mo pa. Sige nga, linawin mo. Tuwing kailan yan tama? Kasi hindi naman sa lahat ng pagkakataon, lahat ng advice tama all the time. At tama para sa lahat ng tao. Diba? So yun. Instead of just asking, totoo ba to? It's more like, kailan to totoo? Okay? Kasi merong mga pagkakataon na pwedeng hindi self-growth yung pinakamahalaga. Okay? Tapos andyan pa yung ano, yung meaning of self-growth. Dissect natin konti. Sa ibang tao, meaning ng self-growth is unahin ang sarili. Ibig sabihin ng unahin ng sarili is, kapag may kaaway ako, bahala siya mag-adjust sa akin. Okay? And minsan, umaabot yun sa point na naging extreme. Nasisira yung relationship, nasisira din yung basically pagtingin sa sarili. Okay? But what if ang ibig sabihin ng self-growth for another person is embracing challenges and difficult conversations? Iba rin yung magiging outcome sa buhay niya. Okay? So we can't just, kumbaga, say it blanket na parang sa lahat ng pagkakataon, ito yung kailangan mo, and then eventually all stuff will follow. But at the same time, even if yun na yung kailangan mo, ano yung meaning nun? Kasi mag-iiba din yung makukuha mo out of it depending on your interpretation of it. Yeah. Does that make sense as an answer? May follow-up question ba doon? We still have like 16 minutes before we end tonight. Yeah. Hi, Kage, curious lang. How do you meditate? I've done like different types of meditation in the past. Ang madalas sa personal development space, yung meditation is more about breath work. Tapos, it's like, ano, freeing the mind. Okay, so it's staying still, and then mas papakiramdaman mo yung sarili mo. It's an exercise for self-awareness. I've done that in the past, pero nakornihan ako dun. It's good for beginners. Pero at one point, lalo na sa isang person na malikot yung utak naturally, it's a struggle. Okay? Um, right now, when I say meditate, the meaning for me ng meditation is focused thinking. Okay? So, nagkakaroon ako ng point of reference. It may be a specific phrase, a specific sentence, something I read, something I watched. So may basic information as a prompt. And when I say meditate, I just focus on that and follow where my thoughts and processing go. Okay? Mas nakakalma pa ako pag nakafocus ako sa specific na bagay that I'm thinking about, as opposed to just focusing on my breath and trying to expand awareness by calming or freeing my mind as the usual meditation practice. So, ang tanong naman is, how do you meditate? So, yun yung share ko mismo. I created my own meditation ritual kasi yun yung mas nag-work for me. So, many times, we can create a version of the usual practices na pinupush sa atin na gawin. Okay? Kasi it's understanding the function. Okay? So, para sa anong meditation? Or whatever it is na tinatry sa'yo na ipagawa. Example, mag-practice ka ng gratitude. Okay? Tanong mo lang, para saan? Ano ba yung purpose ng pag-practice ng gratitude? Ano ba yung purpose ng meditation? Pag nakuha mo na kung ano yung purpose, mali ba natin kung meron ka ng ibang ginagawa sa buhay mo na napufulfill rin naman pala yung purpose na yun? Okay? Because sometimes, to me, mas nare-relax pa ako while I'm playing games. So in a sense, yung function ng meditation at paglalaro ko, meron silang similarities. So bakit pa ako mag-add ng panibagong habit sa buhay ko na e-effortan ko pa, na ang function naman pala is kapareho lang ng function ng gaming in my life? Okay? So mahalaga na hindi tayo nakafocus lang dun sa method, but the reason bakit yung method na yun is something we should add to life. So instead of just meditating, para saan yung meditation? Kasi kung meron ng ibang gumagana sa buhay mo na ganun din yung effect, huwag mo na dagdagan masyado yung buhay mo. Tuloy mo na lang yung something na yun. Diba? Yeah. Okay. Yes, struggle kasi I don't know if I have adult ADHD, so di ako makafocus, calming anxiety. I get it. I get it. Now, what other stuff in your life yung nakakalma ka? Baka crochet, di ba? Or, huwag ka, pag kumakain ka ng steak o, I don't know, like, whatever it is, just check your life. Ano yung mga pagkakataon na nakakalma yung anxiety mo? Ano yung mga pagkakataon na mas nakakapag-focus ka? Ano yung ginagawa mo sa mga panahon na yun? Okay? Because there may be other stuff na ang function is same as meditation. So, yeah, huwag mo na ipilit yung mga usual na tips lang. Kasi here's the thing, the personal development space, anything sa coaching, sa mentorship and stuff, people like predictability. Okay? So kapag merong routine, kapag merong stuff yung pag nag-expect ka yung mapupulfill ka agad, like kumbaga reliable siya, mas bumibenta siya. Okay? It's weird. Pero hindi natin kailangan lahat ng yun. Kumbaga, we're drawn to templates. We're drawn to like the yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng activities and stuff. It doesn't mean they work. May bias lang tayo na tingin natin mas nag-work yun kasi mukha siyang systematic. Tapos ang nangyayari, pag hindi nag-work sa'yo, ang kukwestiyonin mo, sarili mo. Bakit? Kasi for other people, it works. So hindi kasalanan ng binili mo. Kasalanan mo. And it sucks, right? Pero walang one-size-fits-all formula na pag finalo ng lahat ng tao, okay lahat. That's an illusion. Right? So yeah. Nakakalma ako pag laro ng games. Yeah. So align tayo dyan. Maglaro ka na lang. I mean, syempre, ikaw pa bahala kung ano yung oras mo yun, wala. Pero, yeah, embrace kung ano yung mas natural sa'yo. You don't have to add so much stuff. Ayun. In terms of reaping what you sow and the advice na magtanim as much as you can, I sometimes feel as though masyadong kalat yung pagtanim ko. Would you advise to focus the time, energy, attention, money more on a few things lang? Also based on your experiences in what you invested your teams in early on. Ah, iba't iba ng pinagtataniman or iba't ibang klase ng tanim. Okay? Iba't iba rin ng reaping cycles. Does that make sense? So wala akong masyadong, well, we have an agriculture business in India. That's a thing my family has. Um, hindi ako maalam sa specific na crop cycles, pero magkaiba kung kailan mo tinatanim yung yung bigas, tapos kailan mo siya aanihin versus pag ang tinanim mo ay mais at kung kailan mo yun aanihin versus pag ang tinanim mo ay trigo or wheat, iba rin. Okay? Versus pag ang tinanim mo is, let's say, root crops like patatas, kamote. Okay? You can look at it this way, na while you're doing the sowing, okay, part of your responsibility is to also know when to reap. So if you're sowing different things sa parang kalat siya, ibig sabihin pwede kang umani sa iba't ibang pagkakataon. Okay? Hindi yung tipong, pag 35 years old na ako, isahang ani lang yung lahat. Hindi siya ganoon. Okay? So if you look at it from a practical perspective, there are things na if you put time, energy, attention into it, mas mabilis ka magkakapera. As opposed to other stuff naman na mas long-term pa before you get more money out of it. Okay? Um, there's those, like, example would be, if gusto ko agad ng quick money, I would just refer people to other people's services. I don't have to build a service of myself. Na tipong may skill ako na i-offer tapos yun yung babayaran for me. That's a longer run. Pero if I want that, ibang klase ulit ng pagtatanim yung gagawin ko for that. Kasi de-develop ko pa yung skill, and then tsaka pa mo offer, tapos market ko pa, palawakin yung network, tapos mag-usap sa mga tao, tapos tsaka pa lang makakuha ng clients. But if it's, kumbaga, I'm just introducing someone I already know who does their craft really well, then mas mabilis din yun in a sense. Okay? So, there are sowing and reaping cycles. If you're sowing just on one direction or one thing, then you're at the mercy of when that reaping cycle happens. If you're sowing like sporadically, like at different things, then kailangan mo na maging sensitive when it's a time to reap for each of those. Does that make sense? I'm saying this coming from a multi-potentialite, which means a person who has multi-interests and hobbies and business ventures at this point. So magkakaiba yung cycles ng mga businesses. Okay? Meron akong income stream na kailangan ko lang tumodo for 60 days in prospecting, tapos okay na yun for the year. Okay? Meron din akong businesses na kailangan continuous na mina-market siya. And continuous na nag-sow for it. Okay? Kasi para makuha mo yung continuous din na reaping for it month by month. Yeah. A follow-up question about that? I think we're all good. We have 6 minutes. Tapos I have a special invite para sa inyo. And ang anxiety minsan mas okay to act upon. Parang sign yun to get moving. Yes, totoo yun. The difference is this. Okay, so yung worry, okay, I'm a sucker for words, so the layers of it matter. Worrying is normal for all people. Anxiety is not. Okay? Worrying is closer to the realm of realistic. Anxiety can get so far from what's realistic. Okay? So anxiety is like an extreme version. Okay? Meaning kahit sobrang layo na talaga, naiisip mo pa rin na ba ganun yung mangyari. Kahit sobrang liit ng chance na yun. Okay? May isip mo pa rin siya. And that causes a lot of stress. Okay? But worry, it's normal for us to look out for the stuff na posibleng mangyari. Now, both worry and anxiety can be a signal to prepare better. But if anxiety already kicks in, you can imagine it this way. na naka-hyperdrive na yung pag-consume ng energy mo. Kasi, ibig sabihin, parang ano siya, worry anxiety is overcommitted worry. Does that make sense? Na parang nag-dive ka na ng mas malalim into your worrying, now it's anxiety. It has reached a point na to you, it looks believable na baka ganun siya mangyari. But sometimes ikaw din, at the back of your head, you know it can be absurd. May ganun ng point. Pero too invested ka na into the worry. So you're naka-deep dive ka na, naka-immerse ka na. And therefore, kahit may capacity ka pa rin to act on it, crippled na yung function mo. Crippled yung decision making mo. Crippled yung ability mo to act. Okay? So, worry doesn't mean hindi ka makakagalaw o makaka-decide. Anxiety, may chances pa rin naman you can get out of it, pero mas mahirap na mag-decide at mag-take action kapag anxiety na yung nag-kick in. Okay? So, they are still signals to act, nonetheless, to prepare better, to do something about the situation. Pero, kung na-consume na yung energy mo at attention mo, then malamang sa malamang you may need help just to move forward. Okay? So yeah, just showing empathy for that kind of situation. I've been there. Okay? And probably I'll be there at different points in time pa. Mahirap lang minsan pag walang self-awareness. Yes, actually laging mahirap pag walang self-awareness. But it is a double-edged sword. May mga times na ang self-awareness can prolong and intensify our experience of things. Example, kunyari, limiting beliefs. Okay? Dati, nung hindi mo pa naman alam yung limiting beliefs, parang hindi naman ganun kalaki yung epekto niya sa'yo. Pero nung nalaman mo na yung limiting beliefs, mas naging aware ka, mas nakilala mo yung sarili mo, pero parang mas gumulo ng konti. O minsan gumulo ng mas marami. It depends. So it is a double-edged sword. Kasi hindi ka na makakaligtas dun sa mga bagay na na-discover mo. Pero hindi lahat na na-discover mo, ready ka naman na banatan kagad o solusyonan or gawan ng paraan in your life. So minsan, you can be too aware but so unready to deal with that level of awareness. Okay? So ang self-awareness na walang guidance, okay? Lugi ka sa ganung klase ng dynamic. Yes, it's good to be self-aware, but it can get out of hand. So yun. Ano po kayong reason sa kagaya kong bago sa freelancing na gustong explore lahat para lang ma-discover kung anong fit sa'yo hanggang sa ma-overwhelm pa na lahat? Oh, one of the main reasons for this is you haven't explored enough in life before. Kumbaga, it's not just about the opportunities na marami. May given na yun, na maraming pwedeng i-explore. But, yung need natin for exploration, natural kasi siya eh. So kapag hindi mo siya nabigyan ng proper space before in your life, ngayon ka palang nagkakaroon ng outlet to actually explore. Does this make sense as a concept? Anong need gawin to easily know that something is fit for you? Easily know. It's the backdrop. It's the backdrop of having people who's giving you feedback. So sino yung mga trusted people in your life na nawi-witness kung paano mo ginagawa yung mga bagay? Na nahihingan mo rin ng actual feedback for something na ginagawa mo. Okay? Now, the personal feedback natin will always touch on tayo, yung sa sarili natin mismo. It will always touch on, am I learning? Am I growing? Am I enjoying? Yan lang yung mahalagang feedback for ourselves. Sa atin lang yun manggagaling. Minsan pwedeng makita ng ibang tao na nag-learn ka, nag-grow ka, at nag-enjoy ka. Pero pwedeng hindi talaga nila yun alam kasi all of those are internal things na ikaw yung mas nakaalam. Diba? So yun lang yung kailangan mo sagutin for myself. Nag-learn ba ako dito? Nag-grow ba ako dito? And na-enjoy ko ba to? Because if you got that sorted out, may potential yun kung fit talaga sa iyo. Now, when it comes to generating output, okay, yung process, yung system, working with other people, yung feedback ng mga katrabaho mo, kliyente, team member, mentor, yun yung bubuo ng other side of the coin. So mas mabilis mong makikita kung fit sa'yo, kahit yun lang yung tingnan mo. Sa personal na level, learning, growth, and enjoyment. Okay? Tapos sa social na level, with other people, ano yung feedback nila with you? If nagmamatch yun and you're satisfied with it, nakikita mo yung potential, then ituloy mo. Kung sakaling hindi, mas magulo and all that, you have a choice naman to let go. Ang usual advice ko lang is if you're starting something If you can't stick to it for 6 months, lugi ka sa feedback na makukuha. Kasi premature yung timeline na yun to actually judge yourself fairly. Yeah. So anything na less than 6 months na feedback na makukuha mo, treat that as a challenge. Mas useful yun. Treat that as a challenge to, sige nga, titingnan ko kung pwede pa ako mas mag-learn dito, mas mag-grow dito, mas ma-enjoy ko to. Sige nga, titingnan ko how else I can improve yung output ko and yung mga feedback na nabigay sa akin, especially on the rooms for improvement na side ng ibang tao. Yeah. Okay, it's already 7:48. Asawa ko, pag ina-anxiety ako, sabihin gutom lang ako. Kaya looking for how to repair talaga ako, hindi na mapapalitan. Yeah, yun talaga. So, kanya-kanyang ano yan. Eh, pag-asa pa rin naman magbago. Eh, mga asawa talaga, mga ano yun. Hindi, joke lang. So, yeah. How do you handle things despite that you are anxious? A beginner technique would be box breathing. Okay? So that's 6 seconds inhale, 6 seconds hold, 6 seconds exhale, 6 seconds hold, tapos cycle. Okay? This is a training done by Navy SEALs. So they're basically the most highly trained military operatives in the whole world. Okay? So they're faced with missions na, kumbaga, maliit lang yung chances of success. And they can pull off mga high stress na high emotion situations. They are tasked to do box breathing, like for the most part of their missions. Because it serves as a reset for the nervous system. Okay? Now, mahirap siya. Kasi kapag anxious ka, ang dami mo nang iniisip, no? So, minsan maalala mag-box breathing is a difficult thing. So, my suggestion, even kapag hindi ka anxious, practice mo yung box breathing as a routine. Okay? Kunyari, kalmado lang lahat, mag-box breathe ka lang. Okay lang yun. And then, mas magiging natural siya sa'yo. Na kapag nag-anxiety ka na, box breathing is a go-to breathing stuff that you already. Okay? Yeah. Like muscle memory, yes. I used to do a lot of box breathing because it's just super simple. Now I have something that I call the limitless breath. Yeah. It's a different technique I developed for myself with the help of a mentor of mine. So, designed it differently. It works for me. Hindi siya kasing tagal. Kumbaga, I can calm myself down in one breath. Okay? It's a different thing. Pero yun, box breathing as an initial thing. Like, do it as many times as possible, even when you're not anxious, until it becomes like a normal thing you do from time to time. Yeah. Ayan. For now, I think we'll cut this short dito. Meron akong special invite para sa inyo. I have a good friend. Actually, he's my best friend. So he has what he calls a mindset chat. Kumbaga meron siyang nakaset up ngayon like tonight. And yun lang, ako mag-hop in ako doon as a student myself. And I'm actually inviting you to hop in as well dun sa ginagawa nila ngayon ng mindset chats. I'm gonna share the link here. So parang nilipat lang tayo ng Zoom room kung gusto nyong sumali dito. And si Raquel, sasali din siya doon. So I'm dropping the link here. Tapos, yeah. And picture lang tayo before we end as a remembrance for this. And then a recording of this call will also be available in our YouTube channel. Anong kay Empress? Ay, actually, si ano to? Si yung kay Empress. Si Empress, artista yung kilala kong Empress. Oh, this is from Carlo De Leon. Oh, so he is a real life best friend, yeah, KDL. So kung gusto niyo sumali sa Mindset Chats, I'll be hopping in there. So ngayon picture lang tayo for remembrance and then we're all good na.